Hi everyone, we're here to launch episode 49 of the Family Matters Show. I'm Benjamin Bryant from Bryant McKinnon Lawyers here in Coffs Harbour, and this is my business partner Heather McKinnon. Hello Heather.
Good morning, Benjamin.
Merry Christmas. Can you believe we even made it? Like the start of the year we had appeals in the appeal court, we've had matters just recently settled in the Supreme Court, we've had back-to-back international relocation matters in Newcastle. How are we still here?
I don't know, and we've been catching up from 3 years of COVID. So.
Oh my God, craziness. But we're not here to talk about us.
No.
We're here to talk about episode 49 of the Family Matters Show podcast, where we spoke with Robin Sexton, former judge, and Rick Welsh, who were the architects of the Indigenous court in the family law system in Australia. Yeah. It was so insightful, I must say, because I'm a little bit younger than you, Heather, so I was around, but I wasn't really focused. It wasn't really part of my scene, but I know that you were absolutely looking on it, as it was happening. So it was so interesting for me to hear from Robin and Rick about what the family law system looked like for the Indigenous community, or perhaps the absence of the Indigenous community, before all these changes started coming to effect when I came into practice. So it was so interesting hearing from Robin, like the marble, in Goulburn Street in Sydney, and looking around, there was no Aboriginal flag, there was no even an Indigenous person in the building. So it must have been, quite strange. It was like an alien planet.
Yeah, and look, I can look back here because the north coast of New South Wales has some of the largest Indigenous population in New South Wales, and no Indigenous people accessed the family court 30 years ago. They were really frightened that if they went there to help, it'd be a repeat of Remove the Kids, Stolen Generations. So the work that Robin and Rick did in those early years to build trust and to actually go out and meet with the communities and say, look, we think these little kids could benefit from some input from this court. It was really interesting to hear, back then how it was just those two who just saw a need and started work.
And that's right, and they didn't just attack the things like artwork on the walls and the introduction of Aboriginal flags and Aboriginal persons into the court system. But I remember Rick was talking to us about his experience, what he found from the people when he went to court and spoke with them after court, and they said they felt heard. Yeah. Like, I think that's so important. It's perhaps overlooked, but to be respected, seen and heard, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I'm obviously a little bit more relaxed than the average family lawyer when it comes to rules, and I really would love to see the adoption in the mainstream court of the round table. I mean, there was nothing like the first experience of sitting at the table with Justice Sexton, with the cranky aunts that they talk about, and the mums and the dads and the legal team, and we all just sat around the table and started problem solving. Yeah. What can we do to give these kids a better understanding of where they're from and where should they be living and going to school? Not just this rule of compete mum, dad, but let's get the kinship map really worked out together.
That's right. And the one of the best things about it, Heather, is it's been so successful with Robin and Rick, and what's come from that is that it's now turned into the Indigenous List in the family law courts, and in fact rolled out to 11 locations so far in Australia, and it's expanding, which is great. Even here in Coffs Harbour and Lismore, we have an Indigenous List with Tracy Flintoff, and it's working great. Yeah. It's really great for our community. So we can't wait to see that fully expand so we get the full benefits in the community. Yeah,
definitely.
I think that's enough for us for now. To listen to the full podcast, head to bryantmckinnon.com.au or check out wherever you normally get your podcasts. I'm Benjamin Bryant, Heather McKinnon.
Happy
Merry
Christmas.